rocket on the field right now.
Jones steps up. He's going to run. Jones to the 5. Touchdown, Giants. Take a deep shot down the right side for Tate, who makes the catch. Touchdown, Giants.
Watch me run and take the lead.
Daniel Jones, he's done nothing but impress from the very beginning.
Look out for me.
A perfect throw and catch.
Somebody said, Eli who?
Don't mess with me.
Freshman year is over. Our last two MVPs, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, were in their second season in the league when it happened. It seems like that's really when players hit their stride and take it to their next level. And then there's the other part of that where, you know, the sophomore slump sets in. We're going to be positive, though. Taking a look at rookies from last year, Schrager, which one do you think is poised for a leap year?
Can I go for a 2-for-1, Kay?
Okay,
Can I go for a 2-for-1 platter? Because last year was a lost season for the New York Giants. People look at it, I don't remember much of it. Daniel Jones had more touchdown passes than Kyler Murray. Daniel Jones had more touchdown passes than Gardner Minshew. Daniel Jones had more touchdown passes than any other rookie quarterback in the league. And guess what? Darius Slayton had more touchdowns than any other rookie in the league receiving. I think Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton quietly in a lost season for the Giants gave a lot of promise. I'm going to say both these guys make the leap in 2020. New coach who happens to have a expertise in wide receiver play, so that helps Darius Slayton and Joe Judge. And then you've got Daniel Jones now working with Jason Garrett, who has more than enough experience with quarterback play, having been a quarterback in this league, and then working as an offensive coordinator and eventually a head coach for many years with the Dallas Cowboys. I think Saquon's going to have a great year in this offense, but Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton, they could be the greatest connection the New York's had, maybe since Eli and Odell a few years back.
Ooh.
I'm excited about both these guys as sophomores. Lost season for the Giants last year. Don't get it twisted. Daniel Jones threw 24 touchdown passes, and Darius Slayton caught 8 touchdown passes. That's a cool connection for two guys from the same draft class. Leap year 2020. I'm going early on it. I say Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton.
I like it.
Oh, I like that. Since Eli and Odell, maybe Eli and Plexico. That was a good combination too.
It was.
Okay. All right. For me, I want to go. You want a 2-for-1 platter?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go with an entree. Just a nice hefty entree.
Yeah,
Something that's big.
Usually
you feel
not what
me?
you do. You usually take one of
I
everything.
take a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pick a guy that can do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
And that's DK Metcalf. Okay, here's the thing. DK Metcalf had 900 yards. He was cooking, getting busy. Did his thing, right? 7 touchdowns, a really decent year. And you remember that wild card playoff game? He put up $160. It's like, okay, all right, that's the most by a rookie in the wild card game in the Super Bowl era. So we're like, this guy has promise. But I'm gonna double his touchdowns and say he's gonna have 1,200 yards. So for me, I'm saying DK Metcalf will have 1,200 yards and 14 TDs. He only had 7, K.
14 TDs?
14 TDs,
What's
which means
Tyler Lockett doing?
Tyler Lockett's gonna be catching the big splash plays.
If he gets 14 TDs, that's Russell Wilson's winning MVP.
You feel me? That's what I'm saying, bro. And here's the thing. He might have a
High
chance
fantasy wide
of
receiver. Now,
leading the
DK
league in
Metcalf.
touchdowns. And the reason I say that, and I'm glad you brought up Tyler Lockett, he is a splash guy. He's going to make the big plays. But the reason that DK Metcalf can do it all is because when they're far away from the red zone, he can catch that long ball. But then when they get close to the red zone, he is such a big frame that who do you think Russell Wilson going to look for? The tallest guy on the field with the most hops on the field. That's DK Metcalf. I can almost guarantee it, and he will be a Pro Bowler this upcoming season.
Wide receivers either go one way or the other steeply in their sophomore season. Why should I believe these wide receivers you guys are mentioning are going to take the leap more than any other position? Why wideouts?
Because quarterbacks are creatures of habit. So whatever they did the previous year, they'll lean on that. Now, even though you have Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate, Daniel Jones, when he drops back, it's almost nature to go back to what worked last season. Darius Slayton, I'm going to throw it to him because I know he can catch it. Russell Wilson, seemed like every time he threw it to DK Metcalf, aside from a few drops, he was coming up with a big play.
The build.
So they're just getting started.
All right, I like to hear that. I'm going to go with an OW. An offensive weapon
Love those.
named Deebo Samuel. He had an insane season. I mean, he didn't quite have 1,000 yards. I mean, but put together the second half of the season, after week 10, he was a top 15 wide receiver. He had 9 targets in the Super Bowl. They kept giving him the ball. This is a guy who on the year averaged 14.1 yards per carry. He's the 4th running back on this squad. Emmanuel Sanders is a free agent. I think there's a real chance that our boy Deebo Samuel is the #1 wide receiver for the high-scoring San Francisco 49ers next year. On the ground, through the air, I'm going to say this doesn't even seem very like this is going to happen. This doesn't even seem bold at all. 1,000 through the air, 500 on the ground. I say it happens. And he won me over because I met him and I just loved this moment. Schrager, you were here for this.
Where we got?
He just came right up to me pre-game. You're about to play the biggest game of your life. He's like, love the show. What just like, what?
Is this the Paul Rudd, how about, like, look at us moment?
Yes. And he's so swagged out, Nate. He, oh my God, like full visor, grill, chain, like all of it for pregame. It was the best thing I've ever
Couldn't
seen.
see your face. Were you smiling right there?
I was like dead. I was like, wait, you're talking to me. I was weird. I was straight right there. And I was
me,
like,
little old me.
I actually think he thinks that I was somebody else, but that's okay. I still loved him, and I think he'll.
In all seriousness, in that Super Bowl, if they had just continued to give him the ball in the running game, they couldn't stop him on those end arounds every time doing jet sweep. There was one time they handed off on a jet sweep, and he was looking to pass the ball, tucked it on, and went 7 yards. Like, that is a whole other aspect. 500 rushing yards seems like it's a crazy number for a receiver.
Yeah.
They don't use him as a receiver, Kay. You're right. Offensive weapon. That's how they use him.
We'll see what he does. CC, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Everybody went offense. The Raiders, you know I have to go to Raiders, obviously.
Okay,
right?
of course.
And the Raiders been drafted good last year. We got
true.
Jonathan Abrams, Josh Jacobs, but I went with my man Max Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
I was excited. I watched him all Hard Knocks, fell in love with him. He had 10 sacks last year, second amongst rookies. I got him going 14 and a half sacks.
14 and a half?
Yeah, man. Raiders
That's tops in the
defense,
league, bro.
It's right there with T.J. Watt. We sliding right in. I feel like he could be that type of player. I'm excited for him. You know what's crazy? I can actually like buy Raiders jerseys now. Like I'm going to order me a Max Crosby jersey. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
It's a different feel for the squad this year.
It is.
And then, you know what? I mean, you mentioned Jonathan Abram, having him back healthy, the DBs. You know, the three levels of Raiders football is actually starting to pick up. Because once Khalil Mack left, I think there was a huge drop in confidence to the fan base. You actually think that the defense is going to step up this year?
I do. And like you said, having Jonathan Abrams healthy for a full season, having Max Crosby, I think
It's not crazy. He had 10 sacks.
14 and a half
He had 10 sacks last season. How much do you love that he picked Max?
I love to pick Max Crosby. Also, you guys can appreciate it. Has a bit of swagger to him, too. He's not a wallflower. This guy, it looks and feels like a Raider. He talks the talk, and I think he's got a little more to him than just the football. He seems like he's got a big personality.
Are you talking about Max Crosby or Will Selva?
Both of them.
Will, out in the newsroom on the West Coast, tell us what's happening around the league.
All right, what's going on there, Kay? And guys, well, it seems to be only a matter of time before Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy will be a head coach. Bieniemy is certainly deserving of it, given his credentials and handling of one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. Now, there is a head coaching job that has his name connected to, but it's not in the league. It's at his alma mater, the University of Colorado. An NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport is reporting the school is expected to reach out to Bieniemy about it. The vacancy was created when head coach Mel Tucker took the gig at Michigan State. Bieniemy is the school's all-time leader in rushing, all-purpose yards, and touchdowns. Former Giants head coach Ben McAdoo has a new job. McAdoo is the Jaguars' new quarterbacks coach. He'll be working with Nick Foles and Gardner Minshew down there in Jacksonville. McAdoo hasn't held a coaching job since being fired 12 games into the 2017 season. He had a record of 13-15. Also back is Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. The NFL reinstating Garrett after suspending him indefinitely for his role in a brawl at the end of the Browns-Steelers game in Week 11. In a statement, Browns general manager Andrew Berry saying in part, quote, they welcome Garrett back to the organization with open arms. Our Mike Garafolo also reporting that Mason Rudolph's $50,000 fine for his role in the incident has been upheld. And Ron Rivera has moved on from the Panthers to the Redskins, as we know, but before he officially moves, he'll be cleaning out his closet, to quote Eminem. According to the Charlotte Observer, Riverboat Ron is hosting a yard sale on Saturday to get rid of all his old Panthers gear. The profits from the yard sale will benefit the Humane Society of Charlotte. The Observer adding Ron and his wife Stephanie will be there to sign pictures or to take pictures and sign autographs for fans. And I'm just hoping Ron isn't selling his I Love GMFB t-shirt. That's priceless, Ron. Either way, very cool move from him. Still to come here on a Good Morning Football. Plenty of show, including is Thurston Howell III a real guy headed to the Combine? We'll find out, Lovey. We're putting our scouting knowledge to the test with his NFL name pads.
All we got to do is do our job. We live for this.
All week long, we're counting